Hello guys, what is up? Detsy here, and I wanted to make this video because there's a current discussion about class balance and the game balance. So I'm here to give my feedback and tell you guys what I think about it. So these are the topics. Yeah, and if you guys don't know me or is the first time watching my video, I'm one of the top EUDKs in Arena of Solari. Most of the time, I'm rank 1 most of the time, but at the moment I'm not because I kind of threw last night. I got really tilted. But yeah, the point is I played this class since release, and I only one-trick this class, and I've been playing it till now. Regardless if it's strong or weak, I play it. So I'm here to talk about DK and the game, not just DK, but the game. How does it feel? Like, is it good? The state of the game and like PvP. So the current. Let's go with the first topic. The current changes on Suck DK, is it good or bad for the game? Because recently there were some changes that Suck DK got, and let's talk about it really quick. Let me hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to. Why doesn't it let me? Okay. So let's talk about the 4 changes and if it's good or bad. So Prime Airstrike. Prime Airstrike. So before, this whole animation was unprotected after you hit someone or when you collide with when you have a unit collision. But now it's fully SA. So you can basically go fully SA into the flow. And it now costs stamina before it doesn't. And I think this change is one of the most, like, what's the word? It's really good and really bad. So it's really good for the DK because you don't need to use your brain anymore. So normally, right, when you airstrike someone, it's unprotected. So you have to actually learn when to airstrike without getting CC'd. And also you have to learn how to airstrike on their sides, not in front of them. So they cannot hit you that easily, you know? Target you that easily when you're unprotected. And this change basically removes all of that stuff. You don't have to be good at class anymore. You don't need to use your brain. You can simply just straight up SA on their face, you know? It's just such a bad change, I would say. And number two, uh, there are certain classes that already struggle against DK. For example, Ninja, Ninja Kuno, like, those are the main classes that really struggle against DK. And these changes just makes it more like it makes those matchups even worse. Like, it's like a hard stomp, Where whereas these changes doesn't fix anything against the SA, like Striker, Mystic, like Gauntlets and Q Block. It doesn't like why do we have why nobody asks for this change and we just randomly get it. It's like, I don't know. I just think this change is just really weird. And also, airstrike is not just a skill that you're supposed to use for attacking. It is also a skill where you use for disengaging, right? So, for example, like this, it's an iframe, right? But and also keep in mind that on Succession DK, you can cancel the airstrike. So it's not like you're super vulnerable, right? You can do this and cancel it. So there's actually no real reason to have an SA on airstrike besides being a bad player. And I think this change promotes players who are really bad at the game, like bad gameplay basically. And also the stamina costs really fuck the class actually, in my opinion. Like when I play Arena of Solari, the ways that DK or like certain classes like Sork and DK protect ourselves is to iframe and move like with our SA or iframe dashes, right? Like I have iframe and SA dash, right? And we use airstrike to go away sometimes so that we can recover our stuff and not die, right? But now it costs stamina, so it's like there are certain situations where when I'm low stamina, I can never recover my stamina, and basically I'm in a situation where eventually I'll be zero stamina and I'll just die. Whereas before, I can actually like kind of recover my stamina, play a bit passive, recover my stamina slowly, and go back in the fight. And it's just I don't know. I just feel like this is just a bad change overall, like this whole thing, and this should be reverted. And this change alone is the worst change. Like this is what make DK broken, because the thing is, right, DK's damage, a lot of her damage comes from this skill, the flow. You see this flow right here? So before, the thing was you cannot always spam it, because your airstrike was unprotected, so you have to use it at the right time. But because it's SA now, I can literally brainlessly just do this. Like, I don't care what the guy does, because it has CC. So basically, this literally amped DK's damage so much, you can just brainlessly spam it without any thought. So this change is just like, this is one of the main reasons why I would say people are very frustrated with DK, because it's just cancer. It's to deal with. This Ravage Rake got FG. This is a great change, and I think these changes should exist more in BDO for every class. Basically, this skill is a healing skill that had no protection, and this skill had very good damage, but the problem was Sug DK had no good protected filler skill. And they made it FG, which is good for PvP and PvE, and it's an FG, so it's actually really healthy compared to SA. So this is a very welcoming change, and I recommended this change in Global Lab months ago, which I'm really shocked they actually added this change, and I'm very happy. This is exactly what the game needs, like small changes like this, So another change, Kama Sylvia Slash. So basically, we have a skill called Kama Sylvia Slash. This skill is one of DK's main hard-hitting skills, but one of the issues that DK suffered from was range matchups. So basically, in the range matchup, you could almost never use Kama Sylvia Slash, because you would never be able to hit them. It's almost like almost impossible to use it, and it's almost not very beneficial to use Kama Slash, and it's very awkward, because you got to do this. It's like their range, they won't let you hit them. And basically, we had an existing mechanic. This, by the way, this was already in the game. Okay, this mechanic was already in the game, but it was a weaker version of it, and this was a thing since Succession release. It was ages ago, but it did nothing. It did no damage. It was uncancelable. It was slow. It was unprotected. It had no CC. It was garbage. You would never use it. You were griefing if you were ever used that skill, and you were wasting two skills together for no reason. Two protected skills for an unprotected, useless garbage. But they changed it so that now you can actually teleport behind someone, and you can KD someone and have an FG. This is a very good change for Arena Solari, because DK, basically now DK can follow up with a KD, which is a very useful thing. And there are certain people who complain that this skill is very unhealthy for the game and it's very no counterplay, but they're actually wrong. If you ever said DK do this skill, you just simply walk forward and you will dodge the Kama Sylvia Slash. It is very simple. If you don't believe me, you can test it out. Let me see if I can talk to this ninja if he's here. I can demonstrate if he's here. If he's not here, I'm not gonna. I can't show anything. Yeah, I don't think it's here. But either way, it is very easy to dodge the new Twilight Camouflage. And in high elo, if you're a DK in high elo, you will not use it for a catch. You will rarely use it for a catch. Very situational. Most of the time, you will want to use it for a re-CC KD. So it's a very good change to suck DK. It's a very welcoming change. This makes her feel like an actual assassin. And yeah, and against range matchups, it's so much nicer now because, you know, as an assassin, I should be able to kill range classes in 1v1, you know? The other change, Prime Obsidian Ash, no more bound. So it has no more bound, it is SA. I didn't like this change because I feel like if you're a skill DK, this is actually a bad change. If you're a garbage DK with no brain cell, this is a good change. Because you can just spam it without thinking, you know? Prime Lunacy Vadir, it has no more bound. This is kind of bad in 1v1. But it is really, really good for group PvP because it doesn't fuck up the CC cap with the bound for your team or yourself, which allows you to do more combos, which is very nice. So these are the changes that DK got in the what do you call it, on the recent patches. And keep in mind that the bound on the skill doesn't exist, by the way. The bound is bugged. It doesn't work. So it'd be nice to fix that. So let's go back to my notepad here. Hold on. So I think the current changes on Suck DK is half of it is very good and half of it is very bad. And I'm going to talk about what Dark Knight actually needs for the class to feel better. So there is a thing called a class-to-class modifier, and this is what DK struggles from the most, actually. DK, the issue with DK is class-to-class modifier. Basically, certain classes, can I copy and paste it here? I don't think I can. So there are certain classes that you do absolutely no damage to. For example, Striker. Striker and Mystic, you do, this is how much damage you do. I'm trying to make sure I'm writing it correctly. Where is it? Okay. So this is the damage DK does to Striker and Mystic. And this is what they do to, I'm gonna write more. Actually, the assassin one is increased. I forgot exactly. They increased it by like, I think it's 8. I don't remember, but they increased it more now. Right, I keep looking up versus assassin, right? And then Nova, like, I don't get this. Like, why? I just don't understand. I don't understand. What else is there? Oh yeah, Berserker. It's not that serious. Alright. Oh wait, I'm supposed to read the number first. 89.29 versus Berserker. Okay. And then what else is there? Is there anything else? Oh yeah, Valkyrie. 86%. Okay, I'm messing around. So this is the issue with DK right here. So like the reason why I, for, at least in, not just in Arena Solar but in general, DK, like DK mains, or when people's DKs are like, oh, I don't do damage, and then people are like, what are you talking about? You do a lot of damage. This is what we mean, okay? Like, okay, what am I supposed to do in Arena of Solari or in general? Let's say there's like 3 Succession Novas, okay? So on top, so here's the funny thing about Succession Nova, okay? Succession Nova has a Q block that counters DK, which means you mechanically have an advantage over DK, okay, number 1. Especially against Awaken and DK. But on top of mechanically countering DK, they also statistically counter DK, which makes absolutely zero sense to me. So you're telling me that, okay, to kill Nova after break her block, but I do almost 20% less damage to her block because I have this class to class modifier. So this is the issue. Like at least in EU, okay, in EU, these classes are being picked non-stop. Valkyrie, Zerker, Succession Nova, Assassin, kinda, not really, but kinda, yeah. Warrior, kinda real, meh, after the nerfs, but these still exist. Striker, Mystic, oh my god, like, what am I gonna do as a DK when I fight Striker, Mystic, Nova? Like, bro, I just lose by default. I just lose by default. Like, it's just crazy. I don't know. And people, like a lot of DK players, we've been begging for this change, like for ages. Like, please, like change. Like, you know what's funny? Before Renown, it was before like I think the first major class to class modifier changes that when they revealed it, the Striker and Mystic matchup was like 50 something percent before this. It's so like, it's like you guys really need to play the game because you clearly don't play the game. And if you guys think that DK has no damage issue against these classes, blah blah blah, go play the class yourself and try to combo them. Play a Succession, play especially Awakening. You will see how like it does no damage. Unless you know what you're doing, you have the correct add-ons, you're comboing like efficiently, like in the perfect way with all your skills on, like that are on cooldown, you will not kill them. Like for example, Awaken and DK on trial with Draughts, by the way. This is with Draughts and Perfume. Awaken and DK, you cannot one combo Mystic and Striker. You cannot one combo Nova. Even Awaken and Nova, sometimes you cannot one combo. You sometimes cannot one combo Valkyrie. And you sometimes cannot one combo Warrior sometimes. So like, it's just like these changes like that you gave us an airstrike, like it doesn't fix anything. It just makes the class who we're good against easier to fight and have more get more I don't know, like cancer against them, like give cancer to them. And the classes that we struggle is like no difference. We just get blasted, like not blasted, but we're useless. We don't do anything. It's like you're griefing your team picking Dark Knight basically, in a way. Let's go to topic number 3. Class modifiers promote no counterplay. I mean, this is what I was talking about. So let's go more in depth about class modifiers, okay? So there's 2 types of balance for class modifier. One, they add they put class modifiers because there are certain kits, like they're badly designed. For example, I'll give an example. Striker, okay? Striker. If the class modifier is 100% on all classes, right? Striker would suffer a lot because Striker is a SA base class. So basically, because his design is really bad, he's pure SA, right? Therefore, he will get hit a lot, and because he gets hit a lot compared to other classes that have more iframes or whatever, right? Q blocks, they need to have like advantages in the class-to-class modifier in the damage taken. For example, the case of DK, right? DK does low damage to Striker because of this, and I think this is a very bad excuse to balance your game. If you think that a certain class has almost no counterplay against another class, right? Or a certain spec, like a certain mechanic of a class, like blasting, right? Range damage. Then adds certain things like iframes or change certain small mechanics where it can allow the class to breathe, So, and I feel class modifiers in general should be removed. I don't know why it exists to begin with. And I think class modifier is just a lazy way to not balance certain classes. That's what I feel. That's why it exists. Let's go to topic number 4. Resistance should never exist in PvP and should have been removed in the reboot. Resistance, it's just messed up. It's just messed up. Resistance is just like, I can understand for PvE, right? But for PvP, it's like, I don't get it. We already have the V mechanic. Like, if you get CC'd, you have the V. That is your escape jail card, We already have that. We don't need resistance, Like, either you keep resistance or you keep V. It makes no sense to have V and resistance. And obviously, V is the way better one and the more fair one, whereas resistance is just RNG. It's like, I don't understand. It's like in real life, people are born rich, some people are born poor, some people are born, like healthy, some people are born unhealthy, and that's just how life is, right? And I don't know why you guys want to copy that kind of philosophy. It's like, it makes no sense. Isn't the whole point of playing a game or PvP to escape from that kind of stuff, like RNG? You know what I mean? Like, isn't PvP about skill? Because RNG has nothing to do with skill, and that's just very stupid. And I'm very surprised that it has not been removed in the reboot. This mechanic does not belong in PvP at all, and should be removed as quick as possible. And let's go for topic number 5. Concept of skill balance. For example, protected range card control. Okay, so what I mean by concept of skill balance. So in BDO, there's skills, right, that do certain things, right? Each skills. So let's go to my gameplay now. Hold on. So for example, right? So different skills have different things. For example, this skill has protection and CC, right? But you cannot move with it. You're immobile. This skill has protection, but it has no CC. Okay? This skill has protection. That skill has no CC but has protection and damage, decent damage. Like this same skill, okay? Same thing. And this skill has CC but no protection with decent damage and low cooldown. So what I'm trying to say is that there should be a metric or a standard of how every skill in BDO should be balanced. For example, There are certain skills in the Awakening kit on DK that does no damage. It has no range, for example, and it has very bad CCs or even no CCs at all, like this one. So I don't know. I just feel like certain classes, like for example, a good example, Wizard's Meteor. Before the old Succession pre-reboot when it was broken before the nerfs, Meteor had SA. It had AOE, CC, right? Two CCs, by the way, initial and after. It had burn. It had burn damage. It had a lot of like its own raw damage of the meteor, and like it does damage. It has protect. It has protection. It has CC, and it was ranged. That's the only thing that was making Meteor like the only thing Meteor didn't have that made it ultra broken, even though it was broken still, was the cooldown. That was the only thing that was kind of keeping that skill in check, but it was still broken. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, there should be a sense of balance of, like, certain skills. Like, like for example, on DK, right? This skill, sorry, the second part of the skill is unprotected, and it has no CC. This skill should do insane amount of damage, but it doesn't. It makes no sense. Whereas airstrike can do, like for example, airstrike was not protected before, and that's why it made sense to do damage and to catch people. Like, but you get the point, right? The point is there are certain skills in the game that is so unbalanced. Like, it just makes no sense. For example, Zerker's awakening, one of Zerker's awakening range skills. I forgot the name, but like, so. It has long range, it has CC, it has massive damage, it has accuracy. It's like, it makes no sense, you know? Those kind of stuff. So, yeah, you get the point, right? Alright guys, I'm gonna show you something real quick. For the guys that are crying about Kama Sylvia Slash being too OP, right? I'm gonna teach you how to play against it, okay? I'm trying to explain to him what he has to do. Alright, he's ready? Alright, let's see. 3. Do you see this? Do you see this? He literally, not only he didn't get touched even. Like, this is, and I don't know, man. People, I don't know if you guys are boomer who complain about this or are not used to it. Okay, he didn't. I think he did it too late. Alright, I'm not gonna tell him. You're right. I'm not gonna tell him now. Alright, I'm gonna randomly do it now. Okay, I guess he... Oh, he had a cooldown, okay. Alright. Is he ready? Hold on. Yeah, he's doing something. Yeah, I'm recording. I have to. I don't want to make this long, man. I don't know if it's gonna move. Anyway. Should I continue or should I wait for him? I think... Alright, he's here. Okay. Oh, okay, he didn't know. Okay, okay, he didn't know what I was saying before. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna randomly do it. He didn't even walk. When you see the blades walk in the blue. Alright. Is he ready? Look! Oh my god, like... By the way, if you guys don't know, not only W, any skill that puts you in front, any, like Zerker skill, Wizards, you know, the hop, mini hop, any class that puts you in front, a dash, you will dodge the skill completely. This is how you play against Kama Slash. So please, I don't want to hear this. Oh, you're this skill is like, bro, you're just garbage at the game, you know? Yeah. All right, let's go back to my PowerPoint. Not PowerPoint. My notepad. Certain class reboots aren't actually reboots, but a ripoff and needs updating. Yes. Awaken and DK, for example. Wait, I forgot to... Shit. Wait. Bro, why doesn't it... Oh my god. Yeah, my mouse is fucked up, so I cannot really, yeah. So, yeah, as I was saying, certain class reboots aren't actually reboots, but ripoff. For example, Awaken and DK. Awaken and DK is a prime example of this. Hold on. So, let's look at Awaken and DK. This didn't change. This changed, but it's useless. We don't use it for PvP and PvE. It's useless, so it means nothing. This didn't change at all. Kind of shocking. This didn't change at all. This is such a bad skill. It didn't change. The skill is very bad. It didn't change. This skill is the same shit. The same shit. This skill, it's a new skill. Same. 1 second lower cooldown. I don't know. Like the cooldown is 8.5, which this one is 8. It makes no sense. This skill has SA. Now, this skill didn't change. The same. This skill doesn't even work properly. The evasion debuff doesn't even register properly. It doesn't even work properly. This is the same skill. This is the same with some small damage change, but it's the same. This skill got changed. This is the Awakening Dark Knight reboot. She got more pre-Awakening changes than Awakening. And you have the audacity, you guys have the audacity to call this a reboot. And I'm pretty sure it's not just DK, but there's other classes probably that have the same shit that they got. It's like, how can you call this a reboot? We had no AoE changes, like no hitbox changes, nothing. Like this is the only skill where it got a hitbox change. This is the only skill that got a hitbox change. Nothing. Like compared to Warrior, Striker, Ranger reboot, like holy shit, it's crazy. So like I just feels like, by the way, I main Awaken in DK. I don't main Succession. I play Succession because it is just better. That's why. And it feels like more of a reboot than Awakening. Awakening, bro, it's just so sad to see him in class. Like, I don't know. I was so excited when I was like waiting for the reboot. When it was DK's turn, I was like, oh my god, you know? And then when I saw the changes for Awakening, I just felt like I got like cheated on or something. I don't know. That's how I felt like. And let's go for the other topic here. So, the last one. There are too many protections, like super armor, and it's very unfun to play. So basically, in BDO right now, there's too many essay skills. So basically, you can be a very bad player and just spam essays, and that's it. That's BDO right now, and that is so bad because I feel like any class that can spam essay, specifically essay, or too many iframes. For example, Sorg, right? Like if you can perma spam iframe with no cooldown, that is bad. But if you have to like SA iframe FG like this, DK is like that, for example. I think that's very balanced, you know. And I think FG is way more balanced than SA because FG provides counterplay, you, which without a grab. So if you don't have a grab, you can still counterplay them if you can hit their FGs. And I just don't understand this current like why do range skills like this like why do we need SA? Isn't the whole point of a skill that is range is that it's range? So, like isn't that the whole point of it? Is that my protection is the range, you know, not the protection itself. So it's like it makes no sense to give range skills SA. I feel like range skills that debuffs that has CC should not have any protection. The only range skills that should have protections are skills where it only does damage. Like, let's say it has no CC, it has no debuffs. Those kind of skills, I think it's fine. But if it has debuff, if it has CC and it's protected, it's just wrong. Like, because the counter to those skills is that you would chase them, right? You would chase them, but how can you chase someone when you're debuff? Like Wizard, for example. Like you're chasing them, but you're getting debuff and they're protected at the same time. It's like, isn't the debuff supposed to protect you instead of the protection itself? So, like, this is what I'm talking about. I just feel like for example, in the reboot, when Awaken and DK got the SA on the skill, it just makes no sense. It's like, it's just so bad for the game. It's like it promotes bad gameplay. Like, if you're bad at the game, it's good for you. If you're good at the game, this is bad for you. Like, I'd rather get CCs than protection. That is way more healthier because it's like what, high risk, high reward. Okay. It's like for example, in 3v3, let's say this skill is CC like a knockdown now, okay? In 3v3, someone gets CC'd. I can choose to like afterwards I can choose to KD him, right? But I can get CC too, right? If I do the unprotected move. So it's like a high risk, high reward. But then if it's SA with no CC, there's no risk, no reward. And this is what I feel BDO has become. It has no risk, no reward gameplay right now. Low risk, low reward gameplay, I would say. And I think all the classes, including DK, all should have protection nerf right away. Like, remove 30% of essays, please. Remove them. It's just wrong. Like, I feel like the game took more skill, even though grabs were kind of broken in pre-reboot. It took more skill to play the game before than now. Now, you can do anything you want and just perma kite and be fully protected. Like, I don't know, or just perma SA block, Q block, and just be perma SA lingering, no consequences, you know? I just think it just feels so shit. Like, I really hope that not just my feedback, but people with similar feedback to mine's, like that have the common value in the feedback, is heard. Like, not just heard, bro. We're sick of like people saying, "Oh, we hear you, we want your feedback." Dude, there's so many people, like the top players in the, what was it called, the Arena of Arsha. They made massive amounts of feedbacks and stuff, and it almost all got ignored. It's like, you have everything, I don't know why. Like, I don't know what's the point. Like, just read it and try to follow it and listen to it, and the game should be better, I think, because I'm pretty sure what they have to say is very meaningful. And you guys, you have to stop ignoring your player base. Maybe if you didn't ignore a player base, your game would have 3 times, 4 times more player base than it should. Sorry, than it could, than it would have. Like, so that's all I have to say, and I hope my feedback is taken into account. So yeah, peace.